My channel. So hope you're enjoying the Python skill series so far. So in today's video we'll be covering about a important topic which is in programming languages, like if you know in Java or in C++, you have the concept of processes and threads. So in Java this is a separate domain where you do multiple activities, you do multitasking, and you bring out the most efficient process into your system. So in Python it is less spoken because Python all manages by itself internally, but I thought of like to bring this topic separately in a separate video. So for the topic of multi-threading, I'll be demonstrating the entire program and the processes in a Linux system. So this I'm using as a Ubuntu system. So here if you see, this is the system monitor that is available in Ubuntu, and here you can see currently on the screen there are some processes that is running, and you can see the user, that is me, my name, the process ID which is currently running, and the memory that is allocated to each of the process. So currently in this Ubuntu system there are these many processes that are running, and you can see what all resources, the distribution of how the memory consumption is there, it is utilized, and the CPU cycles and all those stuffs. So these are basic visualizations and graphs that you can make out of these processes. If you just jump onto this terminal, so this is the command line from where we are going to execute our Python program. So in this, if I write just ps, so you can see the processes that are there. So this gives a in total, like how many total processes are there, and if you want to see each of the processes, so each of the process ID, and according to their priority it is being sorted. So you get a list of all the processes, including the system interrupts. Like system interrupts can also be called, like if you get some any notifications in between when you do certain activities, and if you just click your mouse, left click or right click, or if you just put any input from the keyboard, so that is all considered as interrupts or inputs in fact. So that is also one processes. So when your machine gets heated up, or due to a bottleneck created internally, not able to handle this request or the interrupts one after the other, this machine goes into a hang state. So that's where your machine gets heated up and you will reboot the system and do the activity. So a kind of multi-threading or process scheduling happens inside all of the systems. It's not only limited to Linux, but when we talk about the Windows system or the Mac system, the same thing happens. So just because Linux has a wide variety of processes and you can easily see, so I thought of like implementing the multi-threading video or discussing this concept in the Linux system. Okay, so for this we have the basic example. So here there are three athletes that they are in a race. So there is a running race that is happening, and the time limit that is given is 60 minutes, and there is a final destination, so where they want to reach. Now obviously when they do the running activity, that is the beginning, so there will be some person who will say on your marks, get set, go. So each of these athletes will begin their execution. So at some point of time, or in the beginning initially when they start at time 0, what happens is that each of them may be aligned in the same position as you can currently see here. Then after certain some time, this person or this athlete will be ahead, but he will be below, or he will be behind. Then at some point of time this kind of uh, unsynchronizations happen. So it's not always possible like all of them will be at the same level of running, because all of the athletes have different energy levels and have different physics. So depending upon that, they have different running speeds, and the ratio on which they distribute on the uh, this race, that can be variant. But one thing common is that they all will run in parallel, and finally someone will reach ahead of all the other opponents or all the other competitors, and they will run the race. So that is the major idea of multi-threading. But in multi-threading, we don't have any such competitions, but our major goal is to invoke all the applications, and they should all do the activity which is designed for them to do. So that is the major goal of multi-threading. This is a separate topic for winning a competition. So this is just I have taken for demonstrating the concept of multi-threading. Okay, so for this, what I have is I have a program. So this program basically states like there are three athletes: athlete 1, athlete 2, athlete 3. So corresponding to the three athletes, I have three different classes. Okay, and inside the body of this class, I have a method run. So that run method is for that particular athlete. So inside that I've passed a parameter self, and the lap which they are going to run, that is for 10. So they are going to run for 10 different laps. So if first athlete is running, then I'll print athlete 1 is running. If second athlete is running, then I'll print athlete 2 is running. Or if athlete 3 is running, I'll print accordingly. And then if I want to initialize these athletes, so now I have uh, the athletes on the stage, but if I want to make them access, or if I want to make them run, I need to have their name, right? So each of the athletes will have their own name. So here in this case you can see like red athlete, blue athlete, green athlete, but in the real world they have some IDs or contestant number or so on. So I will have to create their objects. So for first athlete I will have an object A1, for second athlete I have object A2, for third I have A3. Then I'll basically call A1 dot run, A2 dot run, A3 dot run. That is obvious because inside each of the athlete classes I am defining a method run. So obviously it should run, and finally it will print the lap is finished. So this is a simple object oriented program. Here we have not defined or not written any syntax specifically for demonstrating multi-threading. It will all depend upon the computer or on the number of cores your machine is running on. So it depends upon that. So everyone will get a different kind of output. So what I do is I'll just run this. So in Linux machine you basically run this in this way: python space the name of your file. So the name of my file is threading.py, that I can see here. So if I just go and run this, you can see just in a fraction of a second all of them got executed. If I just run this again, so basically this process internally it's very fast. That's why you can't make any big difference whether it's running or not running, but you can see the output means they have got executed. Now what I want is if you just closely observe this output of this particular execution of this run, we can see athlete 1 is running, athlete 2 is running, after some time after some time you have athlete 3 is running. What happened is like this is a serial execution, this is not a parallel execution. Like I have mentioned here, all of these athletes at the same time they'll be in a parallel execution, but sometimes this athlete can be behind sometimes this athlete can be ahead, he can be at different position. So things happen, but they all will be in a parallel execution or in a parallel state. But here, as opposed to this, we saw behavior that they are running in a serial way. Means first athlete 1 is running, then after that athlete 2 is started running, then athlete 3 is running. So this kind of serial execution is being observed here, but we don't want this serial execution. Instead, we want to use the parallel execution. It is internally doing the parallel execution, but since we have made these statements one after the other, that's why it is taking the first athlete and printing athlete 1 is running, then athlete 2 is running, athlete 3 is running. Okay, so internally there is some thread that is spooling this execution. I use the word spooling because at one particular point of time it will execute all the threads. So that is the idea of multi-threading. So the thread which is happening behind the scenes is called as a main thread. So now what we do is, instead of this, we have a library called as threading. So we write from threading import star, means threading is a library or a package, and from that we are importing all the methods or all the variables that are available inside this. And here what we write is, we give an extension of this athlete class to the parent class. So here the parent class will be the thread class. So we'll basically put the name of that parent class, that is thread. And what we now do here is, instead of this run method, we'll write start. Now this has to be written for each of the objects that you created. So I have a1.start, a2.start and a3.start. Now you might wonder, because a1 is object of athlete class, so inside the body of athlete class we have a method run, but here we are calling the start method. So start method can be considered as like when athletes are there on this stage, you can say like on your marks, get set go. So that get set is basically start. So then after some point of time they will be aligned or non-aligned, so that's not in our control. So it depends entirely on the processes. So here we are just going to initialize. So start is just a signal for initialization. So first thread will start, then internally this thread class has the run method inside this. So that is a pre-built method that will basically execute or call this run method, and it will do the execution. So if this much is clear, what we now do is we just go ahead and just run this. You can see some statements are not printed properly. So what you see, athlete 1 is running, then athlete 2 is running, but it is printed in some different way, or you can see the indentation that is shifted towards the right, and then in between you got lap finished, then athlete 3 is running after that, and then you see some gaps in between, then there is some gap. So there is something happening internally due to which this processes everything is being controlled, which is by the main thread. It is in a random fashion, but it is being executed, but it is not the way that we want. We want everything to be executed in a parallel way. How? Athlete 1 is running, athlete 2 is running, athlete 3 is running. So that is for first lap. Then for second lap we again want the same set of athletes. Till 10 laps we want to print athlete 1, athlete 2, athlete 3, and finally we want to print this, that is lap finished. But we can see the lap finished is in between. So at this point of time the athlete 3 has not even started execution, but it is printed the lap finished. This is some kind of strange execution that I would say that is happening inside this, but we want to understand this and want to make this under control. So what we do is, instead of running this particular program, we will introduce a delay in the execution. So that delay is what we desire, because the output what we are expecting, we are not getting that. So in order to rectify this execution or this order of execution, we want to introduce some amount of delay. So that delay is introduced by the help of sleep method. So there is a library that is time, and from time we import what is called as sleep. So this is the fix for this kind of program execution that we impose. So we'll now put a sleep method for each of this. So whenever the first athlete is running, we want to print the sleep method, or it will execute the sleep method, and sleep method takes one parameter, so that is the seconds amount which it will go into sleep. So here I'll consider it as 2, so it will print for 2 seconds, and here also 2 seconds, and in this case also it is for 2 seconds. Now let's see if we get the output as correct or not. It is currently being executed because it is taking a sleep time of 2 seconds, but here in between this you got lap finished, and it is not in order also, because somewhere you can see athlete 1 is running 2 3, then lap finished, then 3 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 2 1 1 3 2 1 3, and this kind of random execution is happening, which is not pleasing to user. So internally there is some other kind of thing which is also happening due to this process, and since you know that I have shown you these many processes are also running in parallel, it's not the this program that is causing this, because this is just our user created program. Internally there are other programs that is being also executed. So in between these programs, this system is also undertaking the simple multi-threading example into consideration. So you can give a justification of because of that it is giving this kind of behavior or this kind of output, but we again want to rectify this. So how will we do this? So here what we did is we put a sleep in each of the method of the athlete class, that is inside the run method. So now what we do is after the start, so this basically signifies the start of that particular class. So what I do is I put a sleep here, and for the starting I have a delay of say 0.1 second, and here I have a say delay of 0.1 second, same, and here also I have 0.1 second. 0.1 second. Okay. So now ideally this should fix the problem because we are introducing a delay in each of the class, that is each of the athlete class, and after the start method. So we'll just go and see the program execution. Before that I'll just clear this so you can see a fresh output that is running. See, again it printed lab finished in between. You can see the output, it is taking some time and it's printing because we have introduced the sleep in the start. In between that also, after we wrote the a1 dot start, so it is taking some time, but yeah, now the execution got finished, but this thing is not what we desire. So we did not desire the program to run in this way. Okay, So we have another fix for this also. So what that fix is, we put a join to this. Now what is a join? So join will say like, now this program execution is under the control of the main thread, as I've mentioned, that is your parent class. For any program which you implement in Python, it will be executed by default with the help of the parent class. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to call a method called as join method. So this particular statement will say the main thread like, main thread, please stop the execution, or please halt the execution. Let A1 thread join the race, then let A2 join the race, and finally let A3 join the race. And then you do your program execution, so that all the threads will be in parallel and they will execute successfully, and you will get the lap finished in the order which you desire. So if you just run this, you can see athlete 1 2 3, then athlete 1 2 3 1 2 3. It takes some time. Now you observed like in between you didn't got the lap finished. Now it is running because the help of the join method that we have introduced in this program, and finally it will print the lap finished. So this is what we desired with the help of multi-threading. So internally when we wrote the join method, it understood like first the A1 thread or A1 athlete has to join the race, then A2 thread has to join the race, and then A3 thread has to join the race, and finally we have to print the lap finished. So in the program also it is the final line of the statement, line of code. So then it should understand like this particular statement, it should print at the end, and before that all of this other processes that should execute in parallel. So well, that was all regarding the simple explanation of the multi-threading concept. If you have any doubts regarding this concept of multi-threading, you are free to ask in the comment section. And also if you are new to this channel, please do like, share and comment, and thanks for watching.